Hey, welcome. Hi, Megan. You're the first to comment on Facebook Live. Can you hear me okay? Just want to make sure the mics are working. Good morning, Periscope, wherever you are. Good afternoon if you're in my part of the world. Hello, Wendy. Let me know over on Facebook if you guys can hear me okay. I know Periscope can. Good morning. Awesome. Thanks, Meg. Mr. HOL will be joining me in just a moment for today's topic. If you're brand new to the show, welcome, especially to those of you live. And if you're listening in on iTunes, perhaps you're catching this as a recording through the podcast version. Hello. And if you want to ever participate live with us, we usually have a couple of hundred people over on the HOL Facebook page, streaming live, which is what I love most about this show. We do this together. I love not just talking at you through a podcast, but we actually have the opportunity to have the conversations together, which to me is what community is all about. So welcome if you're here for the first time, and hello over on Periscope. We stream there as well, just so there's lots of different access points. I mean, honestly, it's kind of funny, the process I go through after this recording. We upload it to YouTube, so the recording is in video version. Come on in, babe. The video is in a playlist on YouTube, which a lot of you follow there, and then we take that and we upload it to iTunes, so it's available as a podcast. And of course, the video lives on Facebook in the video section, and then we've got it over on Periscope. So lots of different ways to interact and play with the show. But welcome to all of you who are brand new. Super excited to spend about 40 minutes together. We're going to do a Q&A day today. So we've got a lot of questions piling up in the queue. I'm going to have my assistant, Jill, say a quick hello, and she's going to post the link for you. If you have a question or a topic idea for an upcoming show, add it to the queue. I get like 5 to 7 questions every day on different places of social media. So even this morning, there were like 10 people that messaged me through Insta stories with their question. I need it in the queue, because if I don't see it there, then it's not going to be something that we jam on in a future broadcast. Welcome. Hello.
So they're just doing a roofing job.
Yeah, right. Just got home from work this morning, so this is kind of our time to hang out and talk and be with you guys. We really honor our mornings. I don't check email anymore or do anything until after the girls are off to school. It's all about them in the morning, but this is, we often don't have a chance to connect, especially if you've worked the night before. And I said to him earlier, we can't talk about anything. Let's keep it for the podcast.
So now it's my first time talking all day.
He's been mute.
This is it. I've been mute all morning.
All right. So that means we've got a lot to give.
You only get what you give.
I got that song in my head. Happy November 1st. I love that we're on together today. First day of the month. I love a fresh month. Over on Insta stories this morning, I posted a little love note on there that I had written to my business team. We had an incredible month of October, as I know many of you did, in growth. Just, it's such an exciting time of year. I feel like there's like this preliminary phase happening right now for people wanting to get healthier, because they know the holidays are coming, and it's this focus on how they can do some things now to prepare and get around it. And then January is usually like the big push. So of course, if you're in the wellness industry, you're likely feeling that right now. And I just want to share, because I'm so excited to share this. I was up till 1 in the morning last night.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that.
I was up till 3 in the morning last night.
Doing very important
different things, yeah.
But I was up so late last night. Well, not as late as you, but I could not sleep because I was just, oh man, watching everything happening. I love the last day of a month, because for people who own their own business, there's just a lot of shifting taking place, and people are out there, serving on an even bigger level. And I was seeing all this happen. And last night at about 1 a.m., our team, our entire HOL wellness team, for the first time ever, hit the 2 million volume mark in 1 month. So like what that means for those of you that don't know, in 1 month of October, our team helped connect over 2 million volume worth of doTERRA essential oils into people's homes. And I was just really reflecting this morning and writing a little love note to my team, just thinking about 4 years ago when I first started, having no idea where this would go and the impact it would have. And I could not sleep in a good way.
Yeah, but there's still work to do, right?
Oh yeah.
There's still more to do, right? Everyone wants to keep going. Let's just keep this train going.
Well, not even, it's just so fulfilling. It's such a great feeling to help people in this way that I know we'll never stop. I'm going to loop you into that because.
No. Oh yeah.
I just want you to know that.
Yeah. No, I totally, obviously. But yeah, it's just one of those things where those are awesome numbers. And this is, since day one, this is what you set out to do. It wasn't about anything else other than just sharing what you have, which works, and sharing the oils to everyone else. And you've found your way. But I think now you sit back, give yourself a pat on the back for a day, and then keep moving. Right? You want to keep going, and it's a great feeling. But if you're in this to make sure everyone is getting well and feeling great, then your job's not done. You just got to keep moving.
Periscope. Vampire Bob says hi to Chris. That'd be Laura.
Yeah, I know Laura.
Chris works with Bob. Yeah, what I really think about when I'm talking about this is if your intentions are focused on the right thing and you're letting your heart lead and you have a powerful vision, that will be work you're in for the rest of your life, because it's not about a certain rank. It's not about those numbers I've just shared. That's a reflection of having the right intentions and goals in place. And I'm sharing that with you as a broad audience because I know a lot of you aren't maybe on my team. And this is part of the reason I do this broadcast, or why we do this broadcast, is to serve on a bigger level. But I share it to inspire you to let your vision for your life and for your business and for your community stay front and center. Don't compare yourself to other people. Everything is possible when you are the one steering the ship, okay? And for any of you running your own business, whether that is in doTERRA or you own your own business, you're in charge. You're in control of the culture that you create and the connection and the community that you build, and let that lead you, because it's endless where you will go, okay? Jill said, I look ready for Christmas with green and red. Speaking of segues.
Speaking of shoehorning in segues.
I'm so excited for Christmas and for holiday season in general. I'm so over Halloween. I was over it about a month ago. I don't like the holiday at all. I don't like how it desensitizes our kids to darkness and evil. And I obviously don't like the candy and all that stuff, but you do some of these things just for the fun of it. But I do want to tell you, I'm thinking about kiboshing going forward.
Well, see, now that's the opposite. I love Halloween. I think it's great, probably because it takes me back to a time in my life that was like full of fun and in the memories I have. And I think I just kind of want to share that with our kids. Other than that,
there are ways around that.
Segue into the candy fairy. Go ahead.
I was going to say that. There are ways around it. There are ways to capture the fun of it without entertaining the cold and flu season in your home, right? So go and check out that blog post. You guys, I've talked about it a few times on social media, but I'll have Jill post a quick link. It's basically a bit.ly link /HF Halloween. And I give you some creative ideas to use this week with all that candy that might be in your house. She's called the Candy Fairy, and she comes to visit, and it's an empowered decision that your kids can make. We're basically saying to the kids, if you'd like to avoid getting sick and having all the tummy aches, the Candy Fairy will visit our house, and in exchange for your candy, she will leave you a couple of your books on your wish list or whatever it is your kids are wanting. So give it a try in your home. Honestly, you'll be surprised what happens when you actually respect that your kids can make this decision for themselves. And you'll be surprised by the decision they do make if they're given other options. But we had a really big week last week. We just came off the Ready, Set, Glow detox, 7 days of people taking their health to the next level. That is a cleanse that I run biannually, so twice a year. And the next week for that will be April 23rd to the 29th. As you guys might already know, once you're in, you're in. So you don't need to pay again. It's a one-time thing. And we can post the link for that if you guys do want to check that out. But we also did a weekend of business training. So we had a big weekend with the London Post Convention Tour on Friday night. We had about 1,500 people come out to learn a little more about doTERRA and what's going on here. And then we did a business training for our team on the Saturday, the next day. We had about 500 people come out that are local to us and on our team to just spend a day together talking about how we actually lead this movement in doTERRA and the heart behind the leadership of it. And it was phenomenal. How many of you were there? It was just a great day of being together. And my absolute favorite part, my takeaway of that day, man, just seeing our leaders take the stage.
Yeah.
And just own it and speak within their gifts and really speak to things that they are doing and with a high amount of action and integrity, because not everybody, I mean, none of us can do everything great, right? But if you have the opportunity to speak about something that is within your gifts and that you're passionate about, and then sit back and be the student of the other things, that's the goal. And it was just, it was amazing, eh? Just seeing everybody speak.
Everyone spoke. Everyone stepped up. Everyone had a really good message to share with everyone else. And there was different personalities and different ways of doing things, but it definitely was quite an eye-opening experience. And thanks everyone that showed up for it. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we had hosting it. And everything was great. It was just a perfect, smooth, sort of easy, breezy sort of day, and that's all you can ask for. And everyone that I met that day it was great. It was great seeing everyone and talking to meeting new people and hearing ideas and using those ideas for future things and everything else. It was a very eye-opening experience. Loved it. Loved it.
I'm so glad that you were able to be there. And
yeah.
The main reason it went so well is because of the village involved. And I'm actually going to take this as a topic next week. Because one of the questions in the queue today was about that, how I work with people, such as some of my assistants and just all of the people that are involved in creating a day like that. So, yeah, it was great. How are we doing for sound? I've had a couple of people say it's really choppy. So you're feeling that? I'm not sure if it's on your end. Can you guys just let me know if we're good to go? And we'll jump into today's topics. I know there's a little delay on there, so we'll just wait for that. Just so you guys know, I have a whole lineup of topics ready to jam on. And I love having Chris here to go through the question days, because I just feel you have such a great perspective when it comes to leadership and creating culture and teamwork, because that's a huge part of the work that you do. Thanks for the sound check, guys.
Good.
So Chris will always join for those days. Some days he might not be here if we do more of a targeted health topic together, but I do have a whole list of topics I plan to give you guys in this broadcast. But please, put into the comments, is there a certain topic you'd like to see cracked open on a deeper level? Let's do that, because I will add it to the lineup. All right, are we ready to go?
Done with the business.
Okay. So I actually pulled these today from the queue and haven't even really read through them or thought in depth about them, because I feel like
you don't want canned answers.
The answers are so much better when you're just letting it flow through you. So that's what we're going to do. And I'd encourage you guys, I've learned a lot through just remaining in flow and not being over prepared. Even when I speak these days, whether it's to a couple thousand people or showing up in someone's home with a little kit of oils, that's been my personal learning, has been to move away from my perfectionist tendencies and just serve. And I'd encourage you, if that's something some of you are really working through right now, where you're in that stage of like, you feel like you're just always preparing, or as you always say,
getting ready to get ready.
Play with that a little bit of just showing up and committing to serve and not worrying about how perfect it might be.
No.
Okay. So let's do this. Question 1. This is a doTERRA question. I've heard you say several times that you like to enroll people as wholesale customers. The customer seems to prefer that also, as they don't have to give their social security number or sign up to do the business. My question is, how do you place them in your organization? My understanding is that you can't place anyone under a wholesale customer. I'm just beginning to build, and I don't understand how to place wholesale customers. Thanks for any insight. Let me ask you first, why do you feel the majority of people want to just have a wholesale discount in doTERRA as a customer and don't want to do the business?
Well, I think, first of all, a lot of people think that when they hear the word business and multi-level marketing, it right off the bat, I don't care who you are, you're going to get that tingle down the back of your spine, like, oh.
I had it.
Yeah, I think everyone has it. And I think there's enough out there now about the oils and how they work and how they can improve your life and your family's life and your home life and everything else. But there's still that little bit of, oh, are you just pitching this to me for the business? Do you want something from me? What do you want from me? And I think that's the biggest thing. So like you said, I know one of your big things is, and you're going to go into it, but your main focus is to get this in people's homes. You've explained that before.
Yeah.
And your main focus is get people to use this. Everything else is a bonus. Yes. I mean, you can't lie about that. But the thing is you have to use these first in order to really understand them and really get a feeling of how effective they can be. And really, it's up to everyone else it's your personal choice. If you love them this much and you want to start the business, then start the business, right? There's no pressure. There's never any pressure coming from you. And I think that's, if you're thinking about doing this, use the oils first. Use them for a year. Use them for 6 months. Use them for however long you want. If you don't want to do the business, don't do the business. Don't ever feel there's a what's the word? There's a pressure. Yeah, there's a pressure just because you have a home kit that, oh, geez, now I have to start using this to do the business. That's got nothing to do with anything. Fall in love with the oils first. And if you want to proceed going ahead, then do it. And if you do it, then be all in on it, and you will be rewarded very much with everything that comes with using the oils and being part of the business. Look at you looking at me.
That was a great answer. Because this is the truth of this. This is actually what sets doTERRA completely apart within the network marketing industry. And I will say this, I abso-freaking-lutely love this industry. It is so necessary for community to be in place. And as a society, that is the one thing we are incredibly starved for today, is having a community or a tribe or whatever you want to call it, where you feel loved, where you feel safe, where you feel supported, where you feel inspired and encouraged, and where you can be around people already in the place you want to be. You cannot put a dollar amount on that, and that's what happens through the network marketing model. It is essential to creating that. So back to this question, you are right. I would say well over 90% of the people who get started in doTERRA, so we have over 5 million people across the world that use doTERRA. Pretty big, pretty phenomenal, right? You might think essential oils are something that they only use in the niche markets, healer boutiques, whatever you want to call it, but not the case. It's very mainstream now. It is becoming a very a preferred form of healthcare for a lot of people like ourselves.
Yeah.
The first route that they use. So it's big, and a lot of people get started as a customer. The majority of them will, and the majority of them only want to do that. So if you're not familiar with what I mean by that, yeah, you can go to a health food store and buy doTERRA at full price, but like nobody wants to really do that because it's so easy to get a wholesale customer account. It's like Costco. You pay even less than a Costco membership, but it's like that. So you can open up a wholesale customer account. In the US, it's $35. In Canada, it's $42. And then you have a whole year of purchasing whenever you want at 25% off. You don't have to purchase monthly. You don't have to do the business. It's just the way you'll do it, and if you want to earn free product every month, then you would do your monthly orders called the Loyalty Rewards program. But this is where the bulk of people want to be. And doTERRA introduced this about a year ago, where people could actually say, I just want to be a customer. If somebody enrolls in doTERRA and wants to actually do the business, they would enroll as a wellness advocate. There's somebody advocating for wellness in their home, in their community. That's their business, okay? Now, the question here was really, how do you place them? So placements is it's a topic you'll want to discuss within your upline, because everybody does things a certain way. But you're right, wholesale customers, because they're not doing the business, you're not going to place people under them. You physically can't do that within your team, within your tree. So wholesale customers, just you place them within a team. You place them under a wellness advocate, and you're you're basically just placing them with who's going to be a great match for them. So if you enroll a customer who loves yoga and you have a wellness advocate on your team who's a yoga teacher and loves pouring into the yoga community, probably a great fit, right? You're also looking at your team and how it's growing and the leaders that are growing. And those would be leaders that you would want to place customers under. You're also, if you're somebody building your business primarily on your own right now, you're looking at where you have opportunity for growth on your team. And that's where you're going to place your customers, it is within those legs of your tree. So wholesale customer is brilliant. And I want to tell you guys something. I'm a presidential diamond. I have a completely solid presidential diamond organization. I have a second dōTERRA team growing, and I'm a gold leader in that team. We are a gold leader. I don't like saying I. We are a gold leader within our second organization, and I rarely enroll someone as a wellness advocate. I love on customers because that's my focus, is like Chris said, to just get the oils into people's homes and teach them how to truly live a healthy, happy lifestyle. Because that's what I live. That's what I love about this. And I love the leadership portion. However, here's something I know. The best advocates in our business are the ones who have gone through the healing themselves first. Yeah. Okay, this is key. This is why I really discourage people from enrolling with me as a wellness advocate right away. I don't want them to do that. I want them to start as a customer because I want them to understand how powerful these oils are. And I prefer them to have at least 3 months using their oils. Then we'll have that conversation. If they want to get out there and start teaching classes and help people in this way and upgrade and do the business, it's free for them to switch their account over to Wellness Advocate. But then we start that. So I'd encourage you to think about that. I mean, to be honest with you, there are people in dōTERRA, as presidential diamonds like myself, they only enroll people to do the business. My focus has been, like Chris said, from day one, to really pour into customers and into our community. That's what I love to do. And that's what I'll always love to do. So when somebody wants to do the business with me, I need them to start on first base.
Yeah. We
don't go right to third base right away.
No.
I didn't do that with you either when we were dating.
Unbelievable. Anyways, yeah, and I guess the other thing I'd like to add to that is don't, if you're someone who just wants to use the oils, find someone that isn't going to try to intimidate you into doing the business, because that's a really weird sort of gross feeling. So find someone and just be straightforward with them. Say, I just want to use the oils. And if you're getting a little pushback of, well, you could do this in the business and everything else, then that's probably not the person for you. Find the right person who's like, yeah, cool. Let's go to work. We'll do it for sure. Here's a kit. Go for it. You got any questions? Let me know. There's a lot of information out there on how to use them, and there's a good community out there on what you need to do to get started. So other than that, I would just say, if you're thinking about just using them, just use them. Don't be intimidated by your first order. And the best part is it comes right to your door, right? You don't have to go to those Saturday morning Costco lineups down.
You order all your natural health products through dōTERRA, and they come to your door, and you earn free product on them if you order monthly. I mean, it's such a brilliant way to live healthier and keep it simple. One of the things I'm working on this week, it's one of my top 3 priorities this week, is creating a simple daily blueprint for wellness. That's it. Because we complicate things too much, right? And this is where the majority of people want to be, is a customer, thriving. We attract a lot of women, a lot of moms, because they are the ones steering that health ship in their home, right? So yeah, hey, you know what? There are people in dōTERRA who they can take you from like 0 to 60 fast. They focus on business builders and helping them launch quickly. It's not my focus. I'll tell you that right now. There are leaders that you can probably think of off the top of your head. You can tell that's who they want to work with. My personal philosophy with people that do the business is that I want to start them as a customer and build that solid base first. Okay. That's just super important to me. And so if that lands for you guys, maybe take the pressure off yourselves to be, this is what I love most about doTERRA is we're not like recruiting people to do this work, because this work it's so important that it comes from a place of living it first, you guys.
Yeah, there's no time limit on it. You gotta what? You have to walk, crawl, and then run. So.
Yes. You got a question from Jackie.
Oh.
So this is a question for Chris on the live stream. Have you always been on board using doTERRA essential oils? What got you hooked? My husband's not there yet. I'm working on him.
Very easy answer to that question. Well, first of all, I've said it before a couple times, and I actually talked to a couple ladies this weekend at the conference about that. With Ange, I've always had there's never ever really been a doubt with her. Usually when she sinks her teeth into something, I've never really had any, I don't want to say disagreement, or I've never felt like, oh, I don't know if we should be doing that. I guess there's a lot of trust in her decisions, but aside from that, the thing that got me on board was simple. I was sick. I was sick in the wintertime. Everyone gets that weird cold or flu or whatever like that. And just started me on the oils. And it worked. It worked faster than anything else. I felt better. It was quick, and it was just as simple as that. It was just I used the oil. So to answer your question, on a personal level, use the oils. Get your husband to use the oils. And I know that we're guys, and it's that macho thing, which I don't understand now. I mean, we're in 2017. That macho kind of attitude is.
Until you need them.
Yeah, until you need them. But
until the man cold hits your house.
Exactly, and that's exactly what happened to me. I never had big time. And I never had a problem with using them, but it sounds like in your case, it may be a little bit of a ego thing. Like, I'm not going to use this. This is what chicks use all the time. Or, or I can't use this because people will think I'm some like hippie dude and I can't show that. You know what? Just get him to use it. He'll find a way that it'll work for him. And that's it. And there's no shame in letting people know you use your oils as a guy. If anything, it makes you different. It makes you different, and
encourage your husband to be the cool guy using something that's going to be so super mainstream in a couple of years, right? Be the first. Lisa asks on live, do you share the oils?
I do share the oils. I share the oils all the time with guys at work. We live in a pretty close quarter environment. We see we have a lot of late nights with this, especially this time of year, there's late nights, you're cold, you're wet. Sometimes you're in the snow. It's rainy and you're gross. We run into people with diseases and coughs and everything else. So we're really sometimes in a cesspool. And yeah, I do share the oils. I share them all the time. Just like your common ones though. I carry the On Guard, the oregano, all the time, but I'm not the guy who's going out, on the street and being like, oh, I see you sneezed. Would you like to try this On Guard? And by the way, here's my card. Give me a call. Oh. No, I do. But if anything else, when I do have a soft spot for guys, when I see them and they're struggling with something, with a cold or whatever, I'm like, I'll just be simple. Just try this. Just try it, because clearly what you're using is probably not working as well, but give it a shot. But I'm definitely not a strong arm type of guy. Mm-hmm. And I've taken my fair share of abuse from guys, but I can take it. It's good. And I'm 41 years old. I don't care.
When people know that you take great care of yourself, so Chris's angle would be, he's the guy up early working out while everyone's sleeping for another 2 hours. He's the guy giving his all on the job when technically he could quit tomorrow if he wanted to, but he loves what he does. And I really respect that in you. And I really look for that in people. People want to see that you're somebody who's got your head on straight. And that's what's going to actually create some curiosity with people. People see someone like Chris, who has integrity in all the other areas, using something like essential oils, they're more apt to ask, what's up with that? What are you doing? What are you using? Right. And that's our preferred way to educate on oils, is to really live it and back up how we do things in every other area. through why we would be using something like essential oils.
And I hate to just to sort of add to that, like I don't want anyone to get the idea that I'm out here saying like, you know, taking aspirin doesn't work for you, or taking cold and flu, it's not going to work. You got to have to try this. Like, that's not how I'm thinking. It's just, I let people come to me. That's how I share the oils. I will always let people come to me and ask me first. Or if I'm close enough with someone or the guys that I work with or whatever like that, I'll suggest it. But like I said, I'm not pushing it on people. That's the last thing I want to do. I don't want to be seen as that guy, like the oil guy. I don't want to do that. But I guess that's part of my ego coming through. For all the ladies or for the women that their husband's not on board, just get them to use it and tell them to lose the cool guy attitude. Right?
You don't know. I actually started.
At this age, you're not that cool anyways. You're not.
I think you're really cool.
No, I'm not. But even like, there comes a point where it's like, we're not that cool anymore, so just let it go.
Really? Are we there?
No, I'm cooler than you, but I'm not that cool.
I learned a lot of confidence from his level of self-confidence. I learned a lot about it. Thanks for teaching me the way. Okay. Question 2. You know what? We're probably only going to have time for 3 of these questions because we're going deep, but that's okay. It's good stuff. You guys are going to like this question. Hi. It says, hi, Ange. You shared a story at convention about the girl that enrolled you in doTERRA, that she sent you samples and built a relationship. What was that first contact like? Did she explicitly say she was looking to expand or searching for leaders? You know, I talk about this interaction quite often because I learned a lot from Julie, the sweet soul that introduced me to doTERRA. Okay, I learned a lot about what it means to, I guess, do this as a business and just be a nice human being in sales. Okay, because prior to doTERRA, you guys might know this, I had been creating my online community through WholeFit for about 5 years. So I didn't know where it was all going to go. I just knew that I had a purpose to live out in helping people live healthier lives. And I had a drive that I knew would eventually lead me to where I was meant to be. Okay. And Julie, who lives in Utah, she reached out to me one day because she was looking to expand into Canada. So for some of you who are building a business, you might be looking at areas that you want to actually start expanding and growing a team. So she looked up influential health people in Canada. Actually, her husband is the one who suggested me to her. He said, you know, I saw this WholeFit girl. You should reach out to her. So she did. She said, you know, hey, I love her first message was something like, hey, I love your message of just holistic living and a more plant-based approach. Have you ever considered plant-based medicine? I think that was her first reach out. And at that time I was using just random, a lot of different brands. I had some like Young Living oils. I had stuff from Whole Foods, just a few brands. I've always loved the idea of essential oils. And actually one of my very first years digging into health, I was reading aromatherapy books like 15 years ago. I just loved the idea. So
humble brag.
No, I'm being for real. I've always loved that. Like I respect nature so much and the wisdom of, I respect anything that happens without human involvement, to be honest. That's why I like the miracle of birth and breastfeeding and also, this is how I look at nature too.
I know.
If man can't mess with it, it's best, okay? Anyway, tangent. So she reached out to me and said, have you ever heard of doTERRA? And I said, no, I actually didn't know a single soul in Canada doing that. I'd never heard of doTERRA. I did know of Young Living. We had a family member who had been using them for like 10 years. So that at that point was like the only kind of company I knew similar, I guess. So she sent me an intro kit of lemon, lavender, peppermint and basically said, I'd love to just send you these. I think you will adore the quality of them, because she knew I was talking about oils before. So she sent me that and I let it sit for months on my desk. I actually didn't open it, and I'll tell you why. When I discovered that doTERRA was a network marketing company, my spidey sense went off. I just felt like, oh, you know, I don't know this person, and I feel like they're reaching out to me to expand their network through my own. And I'm just being super straight up with you guys. That was my initial thought, because again, I didn't know this person. we needed to really develop that relationship before I could ever understand like the why. Okay. So I let it sit for months, but what she did that was so awesome was she just continued to nurture that connection with me. So every couple of weeks she would reach out and say, hey, I was just thinking about you, or I just watched this webinar I think you'll love, enjoy. She wasn't sending me promos and trying to close me. You know what I mean? She wasn't talking about the business with me. A few times, like we went through this like journey together over that 6 to 8 months. She would send me just education and value in the form of content. Okay. She did a couple of blog posts for me, for our community, talking about the oils. And she just checked in with me. And then, you know, probably about 4 months in, she did talk about the opportunities within doTERRA a little more, but I didn't understand it. I remember one of the questions was, have you ever thought of having like health coaches under you rather than it just being you? I'm like, well, no, I don't know how I would do that. I don't know how I could duplicate what I'm doing through people. Okay. I didn't get it. And then honestly, I want to tell you guys something funny. She was so great with me. December 23rd, I was up late. I was just finishing wrapping gifts. And I just had this feeling of, you know, I want to do something different at the start of the year. I want to do something for me. I want to get these oils. I want to try them out. So I enrolled with a kit, and most Decembers in doTERRA, they have a promotion where you receive a free bottle of frankincense. And I was really drawn to frankincense. I thought, well, if I'm going to do it, this is probably the month to do it. So December 23rd, 2013, I enrolled. And really the reason I did it is I wanted to give her the sale. She was just so sweet with me and took great care of me. I don't know if she's on right now, but her name's Julie Hinton, and I'm forever grateful for her for not quitting on me because of what started to crack open because of her. So I would encourage you, you know, when there are those people that you want to reach out to, number one, you have to be prepared for this to be a longer haul of a relationship. You need to build that trust. You need to not quit after the second time reaching out to them. They need to be taken care of, but if you see something for somebody, they need to understand that your focus number one is on helping them, that it's not about you and your goals and what you want to do. You really need to help them understand that your heart and your commitment is to help people. Okay. And that comes through in your interactions and in the way that you don't quit on people. Okay. You know, I was on a Zoom call yesterday with Susan Johnson and her team. She's a presidential diamond in doTERRA. And this question came up on that call. And we were talking about how, you know, how often, maybe for those of you that are in business for yourself, are you only reaching out to people on the last day of the month? How many of you, like, you know, you don't think about people until it's serving your goals, and that intention comes through to people. If you are just somebody who is committed to sharing and loving on people, the growth happens because you are somebody meant to be in a leadership position because that's your heart. And so that is what follow-up is to me. Follow-up is not sales check-ins, okay? I like to think of it as just connections with people. I like to get up every day, and when I'm in my office, I think about the couple of people that are on my heart to reach out to. Sometimes that's a new builder on our team. Sometimes that's a customer that I was talking to about oils a couple weeks ago. Sometimes it's somebody who just got started with the oils. I really tune into my business and who I know I need to connect with, and let that lead. Okay. So I learned a lot from that experience, to be honest, to not be treating this like I'm the manager of something, but to just create a culture on our team of serving people well and loving on them and being a nice human being. That is sales. Truly.
That's the key to anything, right? People just want to be respected, and they want to show respect and be given respect and be treated like a human being. That's like anything. That goes back to what you were talking about earlier about keeping things like very simple. Like, you know, you just want to be treated well, and you want to treat people well, and that's it. That's the bottom line. And like you said, going back to just, you'd wake up some morning and have someone on your mind or your heart, and reach out to them. And reaching out to them doesn't exactly mean, how are your numbers? Or where are we going to go this month with you? Like, it's not that. It's, how are your kids? You know, it's deep. Right? It's a deeper sort of connection that you want to make with these people. And because you've invested your time in them, And more importantly, they've invested their time in you. And that is something that you can't take lightly. Always remember, when someone joins up with you or has this feeling of, okay, you're the one that's going to lead me through this journey, keep in mind that that person has taken the time to invest their time, their lives, their family, their money, everything into you. And you have to own that and be responsible for that. And every day you need to wake up and realize that people are looking at you to guide them through this journey, especially the newer ones. And always have that on your mind. And that is the most important thing, to be selfless and give yourself to those people. And if you do that, then, well, you're good. Everything will be good.
I was just thinking about classes, right, as you were talking. And I know that one of the reasons our team is growing so fast is because there is a heartbeat behind what we do. When we show up to teach a class, it's not about, oh, I hope I make a lot of sales tonight, or I hope I enroll 4 people because that will help me reach my goal. We actually create the space at a class. We try to keep it under an hour. We shift our focus off of ourselves as fast as possible to those people in the class to help serve them. And we hold that space and say things like, hey, so happy you took the time out of your really busy life to come tonight and learn about a different way of taking care of yourself and a different way of how to shape the healthcare in your home. And if you're not ready to get started tonight, just know we're here when you are.
Yeah.
That's what we say, things like that at our classes. We don't close people or force sales, or, it's an energy behind the work that we do that people know when they're ready, we're here and you're ready to rock and support you. And we've got this awesome community waiting. And that is the heartbeat of a growing team, is showing up to serve and detaching from the outcome. Detach from what you think would make a successful class or a connection or a follow-up. If you show up and just add value to people's lives and let it be, they will be back and they will choose you because they know your heart. And, there's another question that kind of goes into this. I'm going to roll in. Somebody said, you've talked about sampling strangers before. Would love to hear how to approach them. Number one, don't go shilling out your samples like on Instagram. Don't do things like, hey, the first 10 people or the first 50 people to message me are going to get a doTERRA sample.
Because that's been done before. That was good for the first couple months of that, and it worked.
Yeah, now, you're right.
And the way everything is now, if you look on your social media sites, and your Facebook and your Instagram and your MySpace and your ICQ sites.
ICQ, if there's any other 40 of
those ads are all over the place. And everyone's smart enough now to realize when you're getting pimped an ad. Everyone knows that. So you don't want to be that person. That everyone has been there and they've done that. They've seen it. And yeah, you don't go out and start promoting that stuff like first 10 get a free sample right now.
Because the work that you're in, if you're in doTERRA, it does not work that way. People need to have a genuine interest in changing their life. And if you're doing things like that, I mean, there are times when that can work. If you have people that you've been chatting with for a long time, and then they need to understand the quality difference of doTERRA versus the thousands of other people selling essential oils now. Sampling works if somebody is educated and genuinely interested in taking their health to the next level. Sampling will sometimes work, but that needs to be a very individual experience. So if I am, what I'd rather do is take this question as how to actually reach out and start the conversation with people about essential oils, okay? Rule number one of reaching out to somebody and to start that conversation, you don't talk about oils for at least 2 conversations, okay? You are a nice human being to people. You are curious about their life. You find out about them, find out about how things, what their motivations are. What are they passionate about? And I mean, because the bottom line is essential oils take people from wherever they are to a next level, because there's so many various ways that they provide healing within the total health picture. But somebody in the comments on Facebook Live said this, approach your business like a farmer nurtures his crops, his garden, his growth, not like a hunter going out there to see, who they can get next, or like that will never create growth within what you're doing if you look at people that way.
It's a short shelf life. Just imagine
short shelf life.
Just imagine everyone's been walking through the mall at one point and has had that person try to grab you from the middle of the mall trying to sell you some kind of face cream or whatever like that.
Is that not the most annoying feeling?
Yeah, no one ever wants to be that guy or girl. So always keep that in mind if you're thinking about how to sample people. Just pause and be like, I don't really want to be that guy.
It's so funny you bring that up. Because anytime I've been at the mall and those people are like, come here, sweetie, let me put some cream on you. I almost want to stop and do a broadcast like right there. Anyone else? That is such a great analogy to what we're talking about, because, you know, you with sampling or even talking to people about oils, it has to start with their life, their goals, you know, and then how can you best support that, you know? And so the best thing you can do is just, you know, reach out to people, build that relationship with them, ask a lot of questions, and do a lot less talking. That's a really good tip. The less talking you do and the more listening, the more you will grow and the better you'll be able to help people. So end with questions, you guys. Keep the conversation going with people.
I was going to say one more thing. You know what? Go today or tomorrow or sometime this week and try it. Just try it. Because I think a lot of hesitation comes from, you know, obviously if you're asking this question, you want to know like a legit strategy or answer to this, but go out and try it. You know, get one on the books and use what you learned or how you are. Go out and try to, you know, if you see someone, try to sample them, you know, and use the tools that are given today and get one off your chest. And believe me, so someone might say no and walk away from you. Big deal. We've all heard no in our lives before, right? It's not a big thing. And the other, B, you're getting experience on how to approach people in a timely, normal, respectful, non-skincare, perfume, credit card, mall walker type of way, right?
I love what Jill said. She plans her route in the mall to avoid those locations.
Yeah, like you don't want to be the person people are planning their route to get away from.
I wonder how many people are doing that with us. If they feel like we are somebody who's just out to like get a sale. I want you to think about that. One of the things that guides me in everything I do is I put myself on the other side of me. I put myself on the other end of me. And is this something I would actually want to listen to or read or be a part of? Like if I'm creating a program, I'm very critical of things because I'm just like super clear on how I want things to feel. And I always think that it goes through that lens for me. If I'm going to join something like a program, let me backwards. If I'm going to create something like a program for my team, it better be something that I would absolutely do myself and use and love. Same with a conversation. This is why like people, I'm in sales, but my goal through building this business and being one of the highest ranked sales leaders within doTERRA, my goal the whole time has always been that somebody never felt like I was in sales. Because if somebody's going to get started with me, I don't ever want them to get started because they felt like they were coerced or promoted or strong-armed or cornered in the mall.
The mall of life.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay, I have one last question we'll go through and then we're going to have to wrap up because I've got to be on a call at 1 o'clock today. So this is a really good one. And I know this person, she's a sweetheart. And she submitted this last question. Hi, Ange. Okay, it's a long question. Bear with me, but a lot of you guys are going to really relate to this question. Hi, Ange. Thank you so much for sharing on this broadcast. I eat up everything I can from you, and it's been clear I am to pay close attention and learn all I possibly can from you. It's mutual. Your video with your husband was very reaffirming to me that I have been doing for so long is actually part of my story of becoming. Thank you. When I saw you at the Success Summit, you said some profound things to me. You pointed out that I need to listen and explore the feeling I'm having that I described to you as having this raging animal inside of me trying to bust out, and how I feel like I'm handcuffed and I'm unable to do it. I feel like I'm onto something, but I need to ask your advice since you have already been down the road I am starting to discover. I have limited time to work. I have to really make the most of my time when I have it and I have blocked out the hours and found ways to get support with my kids while I work. But my question is, where would the best use of my time be to start making a better online presence? Blogging, Instagram, Insta Stories, Facebook, there's so many options. I need to commit to mastering one at a time, but it seems like blogging is not my thing. It's not as effective as video. And I keep hearing the words, if you build it, they will come. I just need to make a game plan that will get me from a point A to point B as quickly as possible and avoid dead ends. And then top tips for creating a website. Okay, so there's a lot in here, but the heart of this question is, I only have so much time. What should I do? Okay, and I super love this question, and I want to hear from you guys that are on live, okay, because this is, I want you guys to picture yourself answering this right now with somebody, reflecting on your own experience, becoming your own business owner, or building this, let's say you're building doTERRA. What has been it for you? What have you been committing your time to? Okay, to start growing your business. So here's the number one thing, and this is what I knew right away as I'm reading this question. If you think about all the ways you could build your business, in person, shoulder to shoulder, doing essential oil classes, there's that, and that is super important because that is the sisterhood, that is the community with which you start, and so you need to start there. But you also need to be online. We live in a time where at some point, you can wait 5 years if you want. I shared with you guys, I started getting online 10 years ago. It took a good 5 years to start really creating that community. But the key is it needs to be something that actually excites you. So when you think about all the ways, when you think about writing, when you think about video, when you think about audio, which one of those really excites you? Can you picture yourself sitting in your office with a microphone, no video, but with a microphone just speaking your heart? You're meant to do a podcast. Start working on that right now. If you love to write, if you like to stay up till 2 in the morning into the wee hours of the night when the house is asleep, and you love to just pour your soul onto paper, you need to be blogging, you need to be writing, you need to seek opportunities in written form. If you love video, which is my preferred way of connecting, then you're gonna do things like Periscope and Facebook Lives, and you're gonna work on it because it excites you that you love interacting in this way. You do not need to be in all the areas. You don't need to be doing all the things. And if you've ever, understood the concept of something like StrengthsFinder, do what you're strong in or what excites you and forget the rest. Yeah. Because there's a lot of things that you're not going to be good at, okay, in this business. There's a lot of things all of us that we're not good at, but we don't focus on that. We don't dwell on that, okay? My shtick, like what I don't like is perfection. It bothers me because it's been my personal work, and I don't like perfect webinars. I don't like the feeling of things having to be perfect in order for someone to pay attention. Because I want to reach the people that see that you just show up and you do it anyway, and so what if this is what's behind us right now? We don't have the perfect lighting. If you can feel our heart, this is what I'm into. Mm-hmm. Now, there are people who love the polish. They love perfection. And they, you'll see them with everything they do is like dialed in, okay? But I wonder sometimes how much the heart is able to come through in those situations. And if all that time spent doing the polish and the prim and polishing, does that take away from the actual work, the actual nuts and bolts, the down and dirty sort of work that needs to get done to where you want to be? Like you just said, you like just like popping on no matter what you're doing, and I love it. Yeah, because guess what, guys? That's our life. That's what we're not all camera ready. Right? When we're taking our kids to school in our sweatpants, we're not camera ready. Yeah. And that's what people resonate with. Like everyone has been there. Everyone knows what it's like to not be your best or not feel your best or wear a ball cap or wear a hat or whatever. And that is what resonates with people. It's that honesty. We've gotten away. I think we've gotten to the point now, especially with everything that's going on in the Hollywood world and everything. We've completely gotten away from that whole
celebrity. I got to be like this. I got to look like this. I got to act like this and talk like this and wear this. That stuff is so gone.
They know it too. Do you feel that? Like celebrity, whatever that is today, it's dying. People don't care anymore.
Yeah.
And the celebrities know it, right? They can feel it too.
There's more of a push now towards just being you and being yourself and being real. And one of the things that I remember to kind of point to that fact is I remember, and I hate to bring it up, but after 9/11, 2001, everyone really got away from this feeling of like this celebrity, and people had more respect for the guys that were, blue collar, nose to the grindstone, working hard, lunch pail type of guy. And I think that was the first time I really realized that, wow, what a switch. There's such a change. And then we kind of got into that world of celebrity and everything else and trying to look perfect and trying to look polished and trying to act a certain way. And I think we're there now. Like, it's kind of gross when you think about it. Like, everyone just be yourself, and people respect that a little bit more than, trying to be the perfect person, because you know what, we've all tried to do that. We've all been there before. We've all tried to act a certain way or be a certain way. And you know what, just be yourself, and people see that because they're being themselves too. Yeah. Like, just real life is messy and it's beautiful. Who just said that? Lisa. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm just going on and on and on. And what you just said there in a sentence is exactly what I'm trying to talk about here. And authenticity and transparency. That's right, Sue. Like, that's it. Because we've all been there before. I keep going back.
Chris and I often talk about this when we go to events where there's a lot of people and a lot of, just connecting with people. And one of the things that makes me sad is when I see interactions happening where, someone will come up to a leader, somebody who might be really known or in like a celebrity status, and that person looks over them and doesn't acknowledge them. It bothers me so much. And this comes back to, this conversation of like, let why you're doing this lead the way. And if your goal is to truly help people, figure out the way, what that looks like for you, and stick to it, babe. You be consistent in that. There's a reason this show happens almost every single week and has for the last couple years at 12 o'clock. Bang. Because I love this interaction with you guys. What I love about this business is the conversations, is the community. It's the depth behind the work. Like, I love going deep on these conversations because there's a lot more going on than what you see on the surface. And I love this time with you, and I honor this time with you because there's a lot of other things that we could do. And if I felt like being a good leader meant I was on the phone 40 hours a week with people, I would have opted out of this 2 years ago. What I know makes a good leader is someone who honors what excites them, where they're being pulled, and they stay consistent in that work, and they stop looking around. And there comes a point where you need to stop listening to what other people tell you is the right way to build your business.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the people telling you that, maybe they need to get their head down and start working on their own business. So if you're getting all this feedback, like, you really should do this or you should do it that way. Hey, first of all, remove the word should from your vocabulary. It's actually like one of the worst words in our language, because just by the act of saying it, you're saying you're not enough. So don't use the word. But, this question is really important, because if you only have 2 hours a week to work on your passion, it better be something you actually love to do. Figure out your way of connecting with people and be super consistent. And one of the things I've learned in coaching is to help people strip something down to the simplest way of doing whatever it is. If your goal, let's say, when I used to work with people on having a healthier body, if their goal was to lose weight, we would strip it down to the point where it's like, okay, could you drink 1 glass of water a day for a week? Can you do that? Well, yeah, Ange, I could do that. Okay, great. That's all I want you to do for a week. And then we layer. Okay, great. You just accomplished that little goal. Now we're going to work up to taking a multivitamin every single day. Can you do that? And we layer. Do the same thing with your business. If all you can do in your business right now, because you're a busy mom, you've got an unsupportive family, you have a full-time job, if all you can do is connect with 2 people a day and start the conversation about healthy living and just be a great human being to people. If that's all you can do is 2 people a day, do that for 30 days and watch what happens.
Yeah.
Because we love to make things way bigger and way more complicated than they need to be purposefully so that we don't get into action. So look at your business and look at, what could you do in a super small way every single day? I don't have a lot of time to work out anymore. I love feeling vibrant and strong in my body. But if I can get in 15 minutes a day, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm not going to beat myself up over it. Okay?
And be excited for that 1 hour you have a day to put all your energy into that that structure that you want to use. Like, be excited to do it. And if you use that excitement, that'll absolutely make sure that you go like 100% in and just crush it. Right. And I'm sure people have more than an hour a day, whatever it is. But if it's a half an hour a day, make sure that half an hour of the day of what you're doing is the best half an hour you have to put towards your business.
Yeah, like bring that energy to it, right? Like, people feel that from you. If you hate video and you're one of your things is to like beat yourself up because of how you come across on video, you need to not be on video.
Yeah.
You need to pour your heart onto paper and write and capture people that way, and people will feel that energy.
It's definitely not for everyone. Like, video is not for everyone. Pictures aren't for everyone. I think that kind of goes back to the whole thing. Like, I got to look perfect and everything else. Like, I have a hard time being here on video. Like, I really do.
But I'm so glad you're here.
But it's one of those things where you just have to take the tools that your best tools and put them to work, right? You'd rather be best at one thing than kind of half-assed at about 2 or 3 other things, right?
Totally. So here's your action for today based on this question, and we're going to wrap up and close. I want you to sit with some paper, and I want you to think about, if you were given an extra 3 hours today, like of just empty space time, what would you go do? What would feel fulfilling and joyful to you? Because that's what you're meant to do more of, and where you're likely meant to earn money doing that work, because that's like the work for you. And if some of you are like, oh my gosh, I would just sleep because I'm so tired. Yeah. Then there's some boundary issues there for you. But I really want you to think about, like, what would light you up? Because at the end of the day, as human beings, we are here just to be with each other. And if we've learned something that could help another person, that's the work, right? You've done your job. So the question I just want to tee up and mention that I'm going to take, I believe, as a topic next week. I like this topic a lot. This question came into the queue. How often does your assistant work for you? And in what capacity does that person help you out with your business? So I'm going to take this topic next week, and the topic is going to be the whole fit village. Because there's more behind the scenes than, yes, I have an assistant. I have a house assistant. I have a fantastic husband, but it's going to work.
Let me say one thing. Like, I hate that word assistant.
No, I hate it too, but people understand what I mean by that.
Yeah, just so we make the point.
What's a better word for it?
We have very good friends, family friends, that help us out.
Yeah, I like that better.
Yeah, and if anyone saw this weekend,
so you could put an ad out there saying you're hiring a family.
Yeah, friend. Exactly. Like, we have friends that help us out for sure. And to your point, like this weekend, if anyone was there was 3 individuals there that event would not have gone off.
Nope.
No chance that event doesn't go off without the Brown family, Erica, Bill, and Jill. So we have to make sure that they get their recognition, because that whole thing, there's no way that would have gone on. So sorry to interrupt, but that word assistant, when I'm thinking of the people in our lives, you know how I feel about that.
Totally. But here's how I'm going to take this topic. There's the family friends that, just to help everyone understand. Jill says she's blushing.
Good.
Just to help you, you know, what I mean by that would be, I guess, people you're paying in your business to help you out, okay? So there's that group. There's the circle around you, the friends and family that you won't have support of right away, but it will come with your belief level. There's your team. I would have none of this if I didn't have the right people in the seats. Yep. And I have incredible leaders. Okay. Susan's on right now, like incredible leadership happening. This is why. So there's a certain amount of personal ownership and energy that you need to bring into the work you're doing in order to attract the leaders that you need to have in your team, right? People that excel in things that you don't too. And then the other piece I want to talk about within this topic is how you support you. Because when somebody is saying, I don't feel supported by this person, or I don't have this, it is always an opportunity to look in the mirror and ask where you're not giving yourself enough of that first. Just think about that for yourself. If there's something you feel you're not getting or receiving from someone else, I wonder if it's something you're actually not giving yourself.
Good.
All right, you guys. We will be back. Are you going to join next week? Or are you working?
I'm working.
You're working?
Yeah.
All right. This might be a good topic for me to take solo. Mm-hmm. All right, you guys. Thanks for joining live, and we'll see you next week.